Why did Magnus, the bot, not choose to take? I do not know. Regardless, yeah, now they're making mistakes and allowing Stockfish to make a brilliant move and sacrifice the queen. Ladies and gentlemen, ever since the release of the Magnus bots just a few days ago, people have wondered how good they are. And so, I'm here to tell you that I played World Champion Carlsen against Stockfish, and also played the Magni, which are all three Magnuses, against Stockfish. And then lastly, I played Martin versus Sleeping Magnus. So, all three of those are going to be in this video. We're going to start with Magnus versus Stockfish. One went down. So, this is how Magnus starts. Magnus, the bot. By the way, this is actually the second game that I had played. The first game didn't get recorded for different reasons. But in the previous game, it did start with a bishop opening. So, it started with C4 instead of D4. So, anyway. So, the next moves are all book moves. A lot of book moves. And so now we're getting into the middle game. Or yeah, sort of middle game, sort of. So, this is an excellent move. The best move was this, and I think that is the book move. So, Magnus did not do that. So, Stockfish immediately sees that it, well, actually right now the advantage is 0.1 for Magnus. So, we'll see what happens. Uh-oh. Magnus Carlsen, the bot, makes an inaccuracy right here. Okay? So, it's saying that H3 was the best move that it should have done, and it did not. So really, I mean, I'll just show you the times that it didn't. Okay, so excellent versus the best move, which was A6. That's best. That's best. So I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's just like Stockfish is gonna play the best move every time. Magnus, the bot, will not always play the best move. By the way, here we have an example of Stockfish supposedly not playing the best move. Now, could it be because I didn't let it evaluate for long enough, or because Stockfish is on a different depth? I don't know. But you'll see later in the game when the evaluation bar really starts to spike. So right now, I mean, Stockfish only has a 0.2 pawn advantage, so not really much. By the way, this is a good move, not the best move. And so now, I mean, okay, now here comes the very first inaccuracy, which is this. Actually, this is a mistake, they say. Not an inaccuracy, a mistake. So, yeah, that changes the evaluation bar, as you can see, slightly from, pretty much even to now. Stockfish now has a 1.2 pawn advantage. Oh, 1.3 pawn advantage. So, or 1.26, which rounds to 1.3. So anyway, now, okay. See, and here's another example. Why didn't Stockfish make the best move? I do not know. Okay. Another mistake. This time leading to an even bigger advantage. That mistake gave a 0.3 pawn advantage. Why did Magnus, the bot, not choose to take? I do not know. Regardless, yeah, now they're making mistakes and allowing Stockfish to make a brilliant move and sacrifice the queen. I never thought I would see it, but yes, there we have a queen sacrifice. Okay, and now you're pushing the king out of there. And I mean, now he has 2 rooks versus Magnus only has 1 rook. And so he can't really do anything to stop this sort of advance because he doesn't want to lose his queen. But if he had two rooks, or if it was one rook and one rook, you know what I mean? But like because it's a rook and a queen versus two rooks, and also Magnus also has an extra bishop. Just happens to have an extra bishop. I mean, Stockfish does. Sorry. So okay. I mean, now it's just like the evaluation bar already 4 pawn advantage for 4.9. At this point, I wondered if okay, so yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. Has to lose his queen. But at this point I was wondering like what was that? I mean, why did Stockfish I mean it was look, I may have accidentally played the wrong move. Maybe. I don't know. $20? I don't know. Anyway, so there we have it. A mistake, a blatant mistake that took away a huge advantage. I mean, yeah, from 6 pawn advantage to 2 pawn advantage. Yeah, I mean, they gave away a bishop for free. And now, I mean, you have this, and I'm just like, are they going to stalemate? I mean, are they going to draw by repetition? No, they're not. And now it's just like 2 pawns and a rook versus 1 pawn and a rook. But like the positioning, I think for Stockfish is going to be I mean it's enough. So yeah, as you can see, it's a 3 pawn advantage even though they only have one extra piece. So the crazy thing is that I think that don't want to be a spoiler, but I think that Magnus the bot might have played better than the Magni. Like the game seemed closer in my opinion, but we'll see. So okay. I mean just a lot of like moving stuff around. Just like I mean this kind of end game is just always painful because it's like trying to make sure to protect your stuff, make sure not to accidentally skewer. I mean but I mean now it's mate in 11 moves. So don't do that. Now it's mate in 5. So Stockfish, of course, sees everything. Sacrifices a rook. Well, not really, because it's a rook for a rook trade. But now, there you have it. And now it's just checkmate. So there you have it. For the accuracy, Magnus had a 100% opening accuracy. Middle game, 90%. So, and then the end game was 85%. So Stockfish was 100, 99, and 93. So obviously giving away that bishop, obviously, yeah, I don't know why it like glitched. But there you have Magnus versus Stockfish. So here you have the Magni versus Stockfish. So now 0 blunders from both, 1 miss from the Magni, 1 mistake by both, 2 inaccuracies by Stockfish, 4 by the Magni. 0 brilliant, by the way, unfortunately. No queen sacrifices in this game. 6 great moves by Stockfish, 2 by the Magni. So let's look at this game. Let's see what happens. Yet again, I let Magnus, or the Magni, play first, and they start with king pawn. I was about to say why there's no sound. There we go. This is all just like book moves. Okay, now it's technically middle game-ish. So yeah. So here's an inaccuracy. So the Magni should have traded queens. Instead, they um, allowed the Stockfish's queen to get a free pawn. Well, not a free pawn, but well, actually, yeah, they were up a pawn. I'm sorry, they had taken a pawn, right? And so now, if they trade queens, Stockfish is not able to take this pawn. But because they didn't trade queens, now he is. And now the material advantage is no more. But the game is now slightly in Stockfish's favor. Already. It's 0.05 in Stockfish's favor. Still 0.05. Okay, now it's 0. So Stockfish decided, what is this? Stepping out the king into the action. I like it. I like it. No, well, no, I don't like it. Like, it's an inaccuracy. That's the truth. Yeah, he should have moved this pawn. Instead, he doesn't. So now, okay, a great move. One of many. Another great move. Yeah, attacking that vulnerable pawn. And now, a lot of pressure on this e5 pawn. A lot of pressure. So, you know what's going to happen? Decides to trade knight for a bishop. And now an inaccuracy by Stockfish. Before this, Stockfish had a supposed 0.5 pawn advantage. Then it went to 0.2 pawn advantage. Okay. Trade rooks. Well, but first take a pawn. Very clever. So then the Magni, with their infinite wisdom, which isn't infinite enough, I guess. Why is this an inaccuracy? I don't know. Is it the yeah, I mean, it's a 0.3 pawn advantage difference, supposedly, if you move the bishop versus if you move the rook. And so this is one of those things. It's just like the depth. Like, I think this is maybe depth 20, and I think that the one I was running on certain occasions, it would get all the way to 30. So, just saying, I think that this might be the better move. But it's not according to this depth of Stockfish, which is fine. Okay. They just wanted to trade rooks. Very nice. Great move by the Magni. And now we have a situation developing over here on the right-hand side of the board, which is there are 3 pawns against 2 pawns. Okay. What Magni should have done, in his infinite wisdom, of course, is how about move these? I mean, how about trade so that you don't get a passed pawn? It's not trading. Not trading. Not trading. Now you can't trade. Very clever. And now it's a real dilemma for the Magni, okay? They're very smart, but not that smart, because now they just created a pass pawn. So now, I mean, the game is practically over at this point, right? I mean, what, queen versus a knight? I don't think so. I mean, so Stockfish decides to do a bunch of crazy stuff, like take pawn. I mean, this is just all boring, really. Oh, no longer is it boring because Stockfish decides to promote another queen. Oh, my goodness. Like, do you really need 2 queens to checkmate the Magni? Apparently so. Mate in 6. Mate in 4. 3. 2. 1. Checkmate. So, yeah. 2 queens to checkmate the Magni. So, yeah, it's almost like Stockfish. I mean, it's almost like Magnus, the Magnus bot played better than the Magni. Oh, the Magni their rating was 200 points higher than Magnus, supposedly. But, of course, the rating of Stockfish was the same, 2,600. 100% accuracy in the opening, 98% in the middle game, 97% in the end game. Next up. Alrighty. So for this, we have Sleeping Magnus versus Martin. And so instead of letting Sleeping Magnus start with some kind of interesting opening, we have decided to let Martin start with the opening. So Martin plays e4, King's Pawn opening, and now he plays a Sicilian. Sleeping Magnus does. I mean, he's asleep, so he immediately makes a mistake, right? I mean, it's an inaccuracy. It gives a 0.3 pawn advantage versus a 0.6 pawn. I mean, because that's the thing. Martin's already brought out his queen. Magnus should have, started to threaten the middle of the board. Instead, he's doing what? Sleeping. He's sleeping. That is the problem. I mean, yeah, and he's effectively blocked his knight placement, right? He can't move his knight to a in the middle, near the middle of the board, because I mean it's blocked. Okay. What is Sleeping Magnus do? Okay, he's sleeping. I get it, but like, wow, this is a terrible move. It really is. I mean, thankfully Martin is not any better. Okay. Moves his knight back. Very clever. I mean, not very clever. Seriously. Watching this will give you headaches, okay? This is like every other move's an inaccuracy or a mistake or blunder. What? See, exactly. Sleeping Magnus, he wasn't even looking at that side of the board. He didn't see the knight move out there. Martin is wired so that if he sees a check, he has to take it, right? He sees a check, he has to take it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. Look, it was a queen sacrifice. It was gallant. It was noble. But like, but now the queen is gone. Okay. I don't understand why that's an excellent move. Why is that an excellent? It says it's excellent. Why is that? You just gave up a bishop. Also, why is this an excellent move? Okay. He would have had a 12 pawn advantage. Now he has a 3 pawn. What is he doing? Sleeping Magnus is out of control. He's sacrificing his rook. At least Sleeping Magnus didn't take that pawn with his queen when his queen was over there. That would have been the epitome. I mean, remember, this is a 250 versus a 500 essentially. I'll tell you the final rating at the end of the day. Okay. Now he finally sees this move. Well, the reason is why did he move his queen over there in the first place? Okay, blocks with the rook. Takes the knight. Best move is to move the king out of danger because of because this square is undefended. This square is undefended, so he plays there, and now he's forked the king, and would that be the best move? This is it. So now he's forked the king and the queen. Oh, see, this is why I'm terrible at chess, guys. Don't make fun of me. But yes, by moving the queen to take the knight, Sleeping Magnus has just given up his queen. Okay? Unfortunately, Sleeping Magnus is playing against Martin. Yeah, so why didn't I see that move? Exactly, I don't know. Yeah, obviously this is the best move. And move after... Okay, you see this? Sleeping Magnus still doesn't see that his king can get forked. Okay? He doesn't see that there's a free queen for Martin if Martin plays the right move. Martin doesn't see it either. Hey! I mean, okay, now this game starts to get ugly. I mean, yet again, Martin sees a check. He has to do it, okay? He doesn't think through the fact that, hey, I just lost my checking piece. He's just like, I can put him in check. It's actually very... Sacrificing a rook. I mean, very generous. And now Magnus, who is sleeping, by the way, toys with Martin. Okay, notice right here, the evaluation bar says mate in 4. Mate in 3. 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 Mate in 5. Mate in 4. Mate in 5. Like, Sleeping Magnus is deliberately choosing the next best move every single time because he doesn't want to checkmate poor Martin. And at this point, I'm like, oh no. He's going to stalemate him because he's going to move this here and he's not going to... I mean... And now I'm just like, he's about to not put him in check, and he's about to not move his bishop. I thought he was going to advance this pawn. Okay. Moves the bishop out of the way. After just putting... Sleeping Magnus is a tyrant. Mate in 2. Mate in 1. Actually found it. Yeah, he actually found checkmate. So, there you have it. Martin versus Sleeping Magnus. So, you're probably wondering what the ratings were. So... Martin, who is supposed to be 250, had a rating of 200. With an accuracy of 43%. No, 75%. I'm sorry. That was the opening accuracy. Sleeping Magnus had 81% accuracy and 850 rating. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have seen Magnus versus Stockfish. You have seen Sleeping Magnus versus Martin. And you have seen... the Magni versus Stockfish. Comment down below which one you liked the best and which one you think you could beat if you were to play them. Peace out. Oh, wait. Yeah. However it goes. Thanks for watching.